Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, February 11th. This is a podcast about knitting and books and baking and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do the absolute most. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram. If you'd like to follow me over on there, all that information will be linked down below if you're on YouTube or in my show notes if you're on my blog. In addition to that, hopefully all the things that I will be talking about in this episode will be linked in the show notes, which you can find on my blog if you're already there, or a link to my blog if you're on YouTube, which will be down below in the down bar. So, good information is there. If you are new to the podcast, I work at a yarn store. It is called The Modern Skein. It's in Montgomery, Texas. If you would like to check out our website, see our online store, follow us on social media, or find the address so you can come and hang out with us in person because we would love to see you. All of that will be in the various places that I have mentioned, my blog, down below, all that jazz. Good information to have for sure. So, I don't know what I was going to say. I just don't know. I feel like this is going to be one of those podcasts. So we're just going to push on through and it'll be fine. I have a fair amount of knitting to show you this week. And I have knitting plans to share with you, which is very exciting. And then also birthday cast-on plans because it's my birthday week, everyone. Friday is my birthday. So, I would like to share all of this with you while you enjoy a tasty beverage or snack or snuggling an animal or working on your current project or folding laundry or making dinner or anything like that. If you would like to go and do any of those things, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Also, I know it looks weird from this way, but it's actually a cat mug, which, fun fact, very not relevant to the podcast, but this will be my Sam and Mine, whatever, Sam and I's, that's the correct grammatical form of that. Sam and I's 4th Valentine's together, and this was actually one of the gifts that he gave me on our first Valentine's Day together, which is very exciting. So I have loved this mug very greatly over the years, the past 4 years, and I am going to continue to love it as long as it is around because it's a cat and it holds a lot of tea, so can't go wrong with that. But anyway, fun fact aside, I'm drinking tea. It's actually not fresh tea. It's tea that was left over from this morning because I didn't finish it, so I literally just heated it up for now because it's later in the day, because as a human you need to do adult things like going to the dentist and stuff like that. So I am getting a phone call. Where was I? My mom and I, because it's more fun to do things together, we both went to the dentist, we both had our teeth cleaned, joyous days, and then we went and had our nails done, which was super fun. It's a kind of doing a not so fun thing and a fun thing together is very fun. So it's later in the day, and so I am doing this podcast later, and I just happen to have a previous cup of tea all ready to go just to stick in the microwave and enjoy. So you do what you gotta do. So knitting wise, I do have a massive finished object, everyone. I am so proud. And I know I haven't taken pictures of it yet, but that'll happen soon. It's just not yet, and that's okay. It's my Vertices Unite, everyone. It's so pretty, and it's so massive. It's so big. Ah. Oh man, I love this thing. Like, I love wearing this thing so much. This is a Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I used a variety of yarns. 2 of the yarns are from Ching Fibers. 2 of the yarns are from Suburban Stitcher, and then 1 of them is from Madeline Tosh. These 2 are both Suburban Stitcher. We have the lighter pink being Demure and the darker pink being Rose All Day. Here we have the white is Madeline Tosh in the Antler colorway, and the dark blue, which is actually also over here, and the border is Ching Fibers in the Okanima colorway. I keep forgetting the name of that, or to look it up, but something like that. And then this beautiful section, which I think is my favorite color out of all of these, and it is from Ching Fibers in the Cactus colorway. And I think it's beautiful and stunning. So, together, all of those colors make my very beloved Vertices Unite. And it is so wonderful. I love it so much. I've worn it quite a lot, and I will continue to wear it quite a lot. I'm not wearing it right now because though I have a hoodie on, it is warmer today. So that's why. But that's the only finished object that I have. I haven't really worked on any super languishing finished objects. I have been working on one that I haven't worked on in a while, but it doesn't land past or at that 6-month mark, which I'll just go ahead and show that to you now. So, living in this very fun bag, which is also kind of like a purse, but a friend of mine from church gave this to me. This was handmade. This bag was handmade, not by her, but by someone else. And it was just very kind of her to give this to me as a Christmas gift. So this is my chrysalis shawl, and I say my, that is actually part of the title, the name of the pattern, by Lavanya Patricella. This is knit with Melted Baby Surrey, was the fuzzy yarn, and then the smoother yarn is Panda both are from Ching Fibers. You can see that better there. There's something so satisfying about like a big chunk of brioche like that. It's just like seeing those columns line up is just so nice. I love it. This has been worked on quite a lot recently, which is very exciting. Moving forward, making lots of progress, and soon I will be done with it because I am halfway through the second to last section, which is so wonderful. The rows are insanely long, but that's okay. It'll get done. I will not count it as a languishing whip. I'll look at my Ravelry. It hasn't been 6 months, I don't think. So if it's not, I won't count it. If it is, I will. Just kind of depends. Speaking of languishing whips, I have been working on my Find Your Fade. I did switch out the needles so it will be more enjoyable to work upon, and I have even better needles to switch these out for. So that's exciting. This is my Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. I am so close to being done. There are various types of yarn in this shawl. I will not go over all of them now. They're on my Ravelry project page. This thing just needs to get done. It really needs to get done. I said that I was going to try and get it done this past weekend, but that didn't happen. Also because I've been working on my chrysalis shawl, so there's just too many things to knit and not enough time, people. There's just too many things to knit. I dropped my mom off at home after we did all of our stuff together, and she showed me her recently finished Find Your Fade, which is so beautiful. It's like a bunch of blues and greens. It starts off with like a gray and then fades into like a blue, greeny, teal, and ends with like this super vibrant green that's so happy and wonderful. It's so beautiful. I wish you guys could see it. So she has finished her Find Your Fade. It's been very inspirational to help me finish mine as well. It's gotta get done. It's gotta get done so I can have at least one languishing whip. I have smaller ones that would definitely count, but I would prefer to get one big one done and then one small one done, if not two small ones done. But we'll see. I realize that we are not quite halfway through February, but we are getting there, which is crazy. Feels like February goes by very quickly. I don't know why. I mean, it is a shorter month. That would make sense. Such an astute and astounding statement of mine. February is shorter because there are fewer days. Wow. Anyway, moving along. In my French supply bag, the toffee one, which I have had for a long time, and I love this thing greatly, is my Basic Raglan Pullover by Joji Locatelli. This is showing up much, there we go, that's a much better accurate description, or portrayal? The color is very accurate is what I'm trying to say. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. If you are not, if you've not been into the shop or you are unaware, I have been teaching a sweater class that has 3 different classes. This is the sweater that we've been working on. My students have worked wonderfully well on their sweaters. All of them have been very successful, and I'm very proud of how they've been doing. So we're all making the sweater at the same time. My yarn is Knit Picks Tweed City DK. I think that it's all those words, but probably in a different order. This is in the Toad colorway, which is why I have dubbed this sweater my Toady sweater. It's very easy, basic top down, some short rows, etc., etc. And my plan is to steek this when I'm done, which is quite an adventurous thing to do. Who knows? You know what? I might finish this and try it on as a pullover and be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not steeking it. But the original plan was to steek this and add on not necessarily a button band, but add on bands on the sides, because I really want to try it. I want to try a unplanned steek and see how it goes and not be too scared. I want to do it because there's so many other sweaters that I want to make that I would prefer wearing as a cardigan or as cardigans, and that would require steeking them. And so I think if I can do this and it go relatively okay, I'll have more confidence in myself to either do a planned one or not do a planned one. Hello, phone. So my bag keeps falling off my lap, so we're just gonna set it right there. We'll see, we'll see. I'm pretty far away, obviously, from steeking this thing, but I'll keep you guys updated as time goes on how I feel about it. But it's setting up really well. I'm super happy with this yarn. I'm for sure going to be using this yarn again for other sweaters. I love it. It's so soft, but it's also feeling like it feels pretty durable. And like, how can you go wrong with tweed? Like, it's just so beautiful. I also don't have any like green sweaters like this green, which I'm very, very excited about. So, Basic Raglan Pullover by Joji Locatelli, Knit Picks yarn. This has been a class. If you are new to knitting sweaters, this is a really good sweater pattern to do first. If you're looking for a pullover, so would highly recommend, next of all, I don't think I've really had very much progress on this, so I'm not going to talk about it too long. But this is my Hybrid Knitting Cowl by Stephen West out of his new Hybrid Knitting book. I have, oops, got a lot of bits and pieces in here to like add in, and it's kind of a big mess. But it's living in my happy bag with all my pins. I call it my happy bag because it's yellow and it's very bright, and it has good memories and just funness surrounding it. So it's my happy bag. This is all tangled. Oh, surprise, surprise. Are there any like knitting podcasters whose yarn doesn't get tangled when they start to show their project? Because I feel like that happens to me literally every single time. Does that happen to you? Maybe even if you're not a podcaster, if you're just knitting along and someone comes along and they're like, oh, what are you knitting? Somehow magically your yarn just happens to get tangled, so when you try and lift it up to show someone, it looks like a big mess. And it's like, I promise this is actually gonna be a sweater. It just doesn't look like one right now. There's yarn everywhere, but I promise you that it will be a sweater or a shawl or whatever. I feel like that always happens to me. Does that happen to you? I feel like that's a common occurrence. Anyway, I realize the light is going, so I'll be quick. But this is my Hybrid Knitting Cowl. We have our textured, I'm going to do it to the side because we got better lighting that way. So we have this very pretty textured band there. We have, where am I going? Little triangle, what is that? Yeah, here we have little triangles, and then over here we have the bigger, oh no, I went the wrong direction. See, it's so hard to do this backwards. There we go. There's the third and final textured section. So we have these 3 different patterns of textured knit and purl. That is literally all it is. I know it looks complicated, but it's really just knitting and purling. So we got 3 different ones repeated however many times around the cowl. And I believe I'm almost done with the first repeat of this section, the textured section, and then I will start the colorwork section, which I'm very excited about. It's not, I don't know, I feel like I haven't been working on it very much. Not because I'm not enjoying it, because I really am legit legitimately enjoying knitting on it. So that's like, it has nothing to do with the pattern or with the way the pattern is written. I think because it is something that is like, I have to focus on where these knit and purl stitches go, otherwise I'm going to mess up this entire section. It will not look good and I won't be happy with it. So I have to focus on that, which makes it harder to do more often, I guess, because usually in the evenings, if I've come home for work or if I've just been like working all day, not necessarily at work, but doing things like laundry and going to the dentist and important adult things like that, because laundry is important. I don't necessarily want to constantly be looking at my pattern every single row, multiple times per row, and so, but again, this has nothing to do with the pattern. This just has to do with like me wanting to focus on getting it right and not have to worry about messing up, I guess. Does that make sense? I know this is like, I feel like I'm doing a bad job of explaining this, but yeah, I just want to focus on it. I want to enjoy the process of it, and if I am not mentally like wanting to focus on something at the time, then that is not my project that I go to. Plus, there are languishing whips that need to be done, people. I need to get those things done. Which I would like to go back to that. Can we, let's rewind. Let's go back to Find Your Fade. let's pull it back out for a moment, shall we? Okay, so I've been working on this thing for a good more than 2 years at this point. Also, again, I realize the light is fading quickly, so I'm going to wrap this up soon, and I apologize for another really short episode this week, but life just happens, and we just roll with the punches, and as we go on our jolly way. Whatever. You know what I mean. Our jolly way, as you will. So, I've been working on this for a long time. Every single time I've talked about this on this podcast, and probably other places as well. I cannot for the life of me figure the lace out, and I realize it is so easy. It's so easy. There's nothing odd or unusual about this lace pattern. There is nothing weird that you have to keep track of. It's literally yarning over, knitting one, knitting two together, or slips of knitting, or whatever, in some form of order to make it look right. And I just can't seem to wrap my mind around it. And it's been such a massive struggle, and some of my yarn over things line up when they're not supposed to. I don't think I've gotten one of these sections right. Like there's always been some form of mistakes, and that just happens and is okay. And I don't really care. It's not because I don't care about the end product. I don't care because I know it won't matter, and I know that it won't really show, and I don't care because I want to get this thing done, and I want to wear it, and I want to love it, and seeing my mom's done just made it really like, I'm so close. I can get this thing done if I just really try. But yeah, there is something about these lace portions. It has literally nothing to do with the pattern. Nothing. Nothing at all. Because, and I can say this, and I know this, okay? I said that weird, but you know what I mean. Sometimes it works out great. And sometimes it's like so awesome, and I'm like, wow, I'm finally understanding this lace portion. And then other times it might be the next row, it may be like 5 rows later, it may be a week from then, and I'm like, man, this lace portion, this lace row is really rough. I have no idea why. I just can't seem to do it correctly, and I just can't seem to do those 3 stitches or whatever you want to call them. That little lace repeat, I can't do that smoothly, and I don't know why, and it's really throwing me off, and I really don't like that. It's just frustrating. I don't know. Does that happen to you? I feel like this is similarly how I feel about feather and fan. Like, I know it's easy. I know it's very easy to do, and I know I've done it before, and I've done it successfully before, and I know it's nothing to do with the pattern, and I know it's nothing that means that I'm a bad knitter. I know that it doesn't mean that I am, like, really not paying attention, although it could be that I'm not paying attention, because that's most likely it. I'm just not paying attention. Being patient, slowing down, I want to get things done. Which again, knitting is not a race. It's not a competition. Why am I rushing through this? I know it would be better if I just slowed down. So, this is my very imperfect lace. Very imperfect. It got to a point in this particular section that it was it was like my brioche bandana cowl. Like, I knew I wasn't following the pattern, but I knew what needed to be done, so I was just kind of making it work as I went. I've literally done that so many times in this blue section, like, for a good amount of time, and then it wasn't working out, so then I actually had to go back and figure out what was going on. and then it was fine. Although I haven't knit on this in a couple days, so we'll see how it goes tonight. I don't know, no promises. It might go terribly. But if it does, that's okay. Because another thing that's really like just very encouraging to me is that this is my last lace section, which is such a huge, monumentous event that it's my last lace section. I'm so excited. This lace has really given me a run for my money, and I don't know why. I know it's not hard. I know it's very easy. And I've made a lot of mistakes in this pattern. And that's okay. That is okay. I'm still gonna love it, and I'm still gonna wear it, and I think it's gonna be amazing because I love my colors. I love them. I'm so excited about this. I feel like it was one of those things where I would work on it and like be really not super excited because this lace is hard, but I would love my colors, and then I'd put it away or it would get pushed to the side because something else was happening, and then I'd forget about it, and then I would pull it back out and be like, wow, my colors. I love my colors. Gotta finish it. It would get pushed to the wayside again. I'd pull it back out. Oh, these colors. It's a cycle, I tell you. But this thing is getting done. This thing is getting done. It will be done sometime. Because like I said last week, I will not promise when these things get done, but I will promise that they will get done sometime in 2019. Because that is my goal. And I think it's a very doable goal. I think it's very doable. I think that it's just baby steps. If you do a little bit at a time, then it's not as overwhelming, and you feel probably better about it. Because then, if I was to lay out all my whips, which I know I said, well, I was going to do that today, but I didn't, and I apologize. I'm just now remembering that. If I were to lay out all my whips, my current languishing whips, I would be very, very overwhelmed. And I would also be like, why in the world have you not finished these things? And then I'd be like really bummed because there's a lot of other things that I want to knit, and there's other things that are coming up that I want to knit that I haven't cast on yet. And then I would feel bad about casting on things, and like nobody wants to feel bad about that. Because, segue, we've talked about languishing whips enough. Because, my dear friends, my podcast viewers, my birthday is on Friday. It is February 15th, if you were not sure what the date of Friday was. And I'm going to cast on something. I don't care that I haven't finished anything. I don't care that I have other things on my needles that need to get done. It is my birthday, and I have things sitting on this shelf over here that I can see, sweaters that I want to knit. I don't know which one. I'm leaning either towards my Zweig by Caitlin Hunter or my Woolen Honey by Andrea Mowry. I'm not sure which one yet. But something will be cast on for my birthday because treat yourself. Treat myself. It's my birthday. Plus, again, I'm using yarn that I already had. I'm using yarn that's been in my stash. The Woolen Honey yarn has been in my stash since Christmas. The Zweig yarn has been in my stash for even longer, since probably like June, May, maybe even before that. I don't even remember. It was a long time ago. So this is like old stash. I'd say it's old stash, maybe not a year old, but still, it's gonna count. It'll be fine. I'm stash busting. It's okay. It's okay. Plus, it's my birthday. Everyone, it's my birthday. So I'm gonna treat myself and cast something on. Don't know what. So, as an incentive to come see us at the yarn store, I'll probably have my yarn to wind up and cast on Friday, because I will be at work and you can come and see what I cast on, because I could not tell you now, but I will hopefully have decided by then, because I need to wind it up. except the nitpicks doesn't really need to be wound up. Also, side note, in addition to casting things on, I have fun announcements or just fun knitting plans that are coming up in the future. I don't want to talk about them too much for right now, just because I don't know all the details, but it is a test knit, surprise, surprise. I am so excited about this one. I'm very, very excited. I haven't tested it in a while. I saw this one and I was like, oh man, the time has come. So I will have a test knit to cast on. I will have a birthday cast on. And hopefully several languishing whips off my needles. I will not count my test knit or my birthday knit towards the like just general cast on-ness, because one, test knit I would consider like a work thing, and my birthday thing is just joy and happiness, and everyone needs that in their lives. So I'm not going to count those because I don't want to feel bad about it, and I know if I do, I probably will feel bad, so we're just not going to do that, because no. Is that everything that I've talked about that I need to talk about? I've been really onto podcasts this week. I really haven't been listening to books a whole lot. I just haven't been, there hasn't been a book that's like really gripped me, which is fine. You know what? I know I go in cycles. Sometimes I'm like super into listening to music all the time, or super into listening to podcasts all the time, super into like catching up on my YouTube videos that I watch, or the podcasters on YouTube, and sometimes I'm into books and audiobooks. So I need to get a book going that I'm like actually reading, because at least the basic raglan sweater pullover is definitely like the perfect reading project. Perfect. Yeah, as will Find Your Fade once I'm done with this lace section. So good things are coming, and I just need to sit down and find a good book. And it's not because I'm lacking for good books, because have so many on my Goodreads and my library wish list. It's just a matter of picking it out. Which sometimes it's hard to make decisions like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Although sometimes it's annoying when you can't figure out what you want for your birthday because you can't decide what you would like for your birthday. But I've realized it's very much a first world problem. But sometimes I struggle with making decisions, even though they're really fun decisions and they're very easy decisions. It happens. Hopefully I'm not the only one. But I might be, and that's okay. I fully own that. That is a thing. And I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, everyone. So yes, I do plan on making myself a fruit berry crumble thing. It will have peaches and raspberries in them. I'm very excited. I love a good fruit cobbler crumble thing, especially with ice cream. Like, just so good, especially when you warm it up a little bit and the ice cream gets all melty and it's just like, so good. Haven't made that yet though. Hopefully we'll make that on Thursday. Yeah, probably on Thursday. Yeah, probably. Not that you needed to know that, but now you know my schedule of baking things this week, so yay. That is it all that I have for this week. I do apologize again that it's a shorter episode. I did have a lot of knitting content though. That's good. As I said, life just kind of happens, and sometimes there are shorter episodes. Sometimes there are longer episodes, and that's okay. And sometimes it's nice to have a shorter episode to watch, and sometimes you're like, I have had a lot of like hour-long episodes from you, Grace. I need a shorter episode because I just don't have time, and I totally get that. So here's my shorter episode to you. You're welcome. Yes. That's my logic behind it. If you would like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. Please go follow me on Instagram, as that is where I'm most active. All this information and the things that I have talked about will be in the show notes and down below if you're on YouTube, or the link to the show notes will be down below on YouTube. If you're interested in the modern skein where I work, all of that information will be the various places if you'd like to go check us out, or if you would like to come see us in person. We would love to see you, and you can look at our yarn or you can knit with us. We would love to have you. There's a brand new coffee shop that has opened up next door called Bean Punk. I can testify that their lattes, their cinnamon rolls, muffins, and scones are very good. I haven't tried it. Oh, their breakfast sandwiches are also very good. I've tried several things. I'm a huge fan. So, we do have a coffee shop next door, and I'm sure they would also love to see you if you'd like to stop by. Yes. I hope that you had a good weekend, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful week. I hope you have crafty plans. I hope that they are successful. I have lots of crafty plans. Just making progress with everything. Finishing those whips. Getting those new things started, test knits, just very exciting. Birthday knitting! I'm so excited. Just don't know what yet, but that's okay. I'll make a decision. It'll be good. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yes. I also can hear my husband walking up the stairs to our apartment, so this is a sign that I need to finish this because it feels weird when there's someone in the apartment when I record. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate your views, your comments, your likes on Instagram, everything. You are awesome, and I appreciate you. If you have crafty plans, hope that they are successful. Thank you for dealing with this dark lighting. I am very sorry. And that is all that I have. So with that, I will see you guys next week. I will be a year older, and hopefully I will have 2 new cast-ons, if not 1. Don't know what it's gonna be, but it'll be fun. So with that, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!